Hello, my friends. It's Saturday. That means it's time for your Saturday Psychic Sampler, where you ask specific questions and I give you specific answers. I'm Christiana Gaudet. I am your Tarot Fairy Godmother. Welcome to our digital village. It is so great to see all of you. Of course, a big thank you to our members and moderators, and a welcome to new subscribers. If you're here for the first time and you want to ask a question, you must subscribe in order to ask. And I will take questions in the order in which I see them. So let's get going. Keep an eye on me and try to keep me, if you see me skipping someone, I try not to, but it can happen. If you see me skipping someone, let me know. All right, over to card cam we go. Yesterday, I pulled out my very early original Gilded Tarot, the Llewellyn version. And it was fun. We used this for your Friday weekly wrap-up yesterday. It was fun. So why mess with a good thing? It's what we're going to use today as well. All right, first person I see, first question I see is Julie. Thanks for being here. Does my sister like or hate me? We had little to big rivalries often. I often had my own issues and did not care for my family. Did that hurt them? I was troubled in my school days and made some mistakes. I hit her once. She remembered it for too long. She said we don't have a good rapport. What do you say about my relationship with my younger sister in the future? I'm sorry you're going through this. That sounds difficult. I mean, the thing is, I feel like, in a way, I feel like your younger sister has always been the instigator and you always got in trouble for it. Maybe not always, but a lot of the time. Like, I feel like your younger sister is a problem. And there's a reason that you separate yourself from your family. So I'm going to say, be careful about not letting her or others make you be the bad one when you're not the bad one. All right, Ronald Schaefer, good to see you. Since January, I feel like I've been doing a lot of inner shifting and releasing and raising my vibe. Always a good thing to do. What messages does Spirit have for me in regards to that and any other general messages? So the work that you're doing, the shifting that you're doing is good. It really is. It is opening you up to some creativity. It is opening you up to a different way of interacting with people, but it does not address some deeper healing that needs to be done. Somehow, you have to find a way to keep that positive vibe, but also dig deep into what needs to be revealed and released all at the same time. So I think you're on the right path, doing the right thing. This is just the next level of that. Trey Cameron, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Will I travel anywhere exciting within the next few years? Yes, South Florida for StaarCon 6. It'd be nice, though. Anyway, what do we see? Well, interestingly, we get the Chariot reversed. I think you're probably mostly going to stick closer to home or travel to a place that feels like home. Travel to an ancestral home or a place you've lived before, or a place where people you know and love are, like to visit relatives in another country, something like that. That would really be the kind of travel we would see. Oh, Ronald, thank you so much. Jolie, thanks for catching that. All right. Nikita Gupta, good to see you. Good morning to you. How can I best ensure a positive outcome for my interview next week on Friday? You know, the thing is, what is a positive outcome? You think you know what the positive outcome is, you know, which is there's a particular thing you want this interview to lead to. And it's likely that it might, and that would indeed be positive. But we also have to recognize that when you ask the universe to step in, what you want and what is best for you could be two different things. So it's just important to recognize that. However, in this case, the advice is you go in and you be yourself, and you do not have emotion about this at all. You do not show emotion, but you also don't have emotion. Just go in, do your best, and be yourself, and don't worry about the outcome. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but this could go exactly the way you want. And even if it doesn't, whatever is in your best interest is what is likely to happen. And even if it doesn't go the way you want, what comes next, I think, will be what you want. Barbie Bird, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Okay, here we go. Yesterday, I got news about my sister. We have not known her status for 8 months. I remember that. Yeah. She willingly went to a psych ward for the first time. Hallelujah. That's a good thing. While a weight feels like it's been lifted, I know not to get my hopes up. What can the cards tell me and my family about her right now? Is this a possible turning point? Of course it is. Or just one of many? Also possible. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Will she reach out to my mom or dad? And how can I best support my dad these days? I feel like he's really sad and unsure about my sister and his future. Double whammy. We'll try to make it to the live for any questions, and you are here. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I know a lot of times everyone has busy lives and you have to put your questions in and go, and that's fine. But if you can be here, I do like it, especially for these that have sort of a lot of nuances to them. And whenever you are able to be here, do as Barbie does. I've got this set for super low latency so we can kind of talk. And so Barbie, good. Pay attention. Let's see what we got going on. So let's look at your sister. And for everyone who is a reader, what you are about to get in the next minute or two, or 3 or 4, this could take a minute, or 2 or 3 or 4, is sort of a masterclass in my dialogue style. So come to the front and pay attention and let's see what we get. So the first question I'm going to take from this is, let's just see, like, how is your sister doing right now? And she's not in a good state. The question is this the state that drove her to the psych ward, or is this being in the psych ward? I think a little of both. I think this is the state that drove her there. 64 Amy Penn, I want to say a big thank you for the super sticker. This is the state that drove her there, but she also hates being there. Like, she feels like she has just submitted herself to the altar of her enemies for dissection. She hates this so much, and it is such a big step, but it's not like, I'm proud of myself for making this step. She's like questioning herself. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Now, from she's avoided it forever, right? From the perspective of her care team, how is she doing? Well, she's there, and that's the first step. And when we look at her care team, I think they really are caring. I mean, you know, there's probably a lot of really messed up things that happen on psych wards. But Celie Klein, oh my goodness, thanks for being here. You know, it's not anyone's favorite place to be, but I think she's got a good staff. Will the universe conspire in such a way to be able to keep your sister there to get to a point where she can be stabilized? See, this is my concern. I don't know what the laws are there or how that all works. But I'm afraid she'll be able to sign herself out too soon. And if there is anything you can do, okay, you had asked, is there anything I can do here? Right, it's the after the hospital you worry about. And yeah, especially if she gets out too soon. And I would hope there would be some kind of a step down program or a halfway house situation or something that could catch her if she would allow herself to be caught. Like there's two things there. There's the social safety nets and the health system. And then there's, willingness to participate. And unfortunately, with mental health issues, a lot of times there's not a willingness to participate. Barbie, you say, but there could be something. Do you have a particular something in mind? If so, tell me about it. I want to explore the avenue. So I feel like if you have a role here, the role may be to try to see, and I don't know what the legalities of this are, what your version of HIPAA might be. So I don't know. You're hoping there's a program to help her. Yeah, I don't know how much you're going to be able to talk to her care team, talk to social workers, find programs for her, but that's where I'd like to see you. I'd like to see you working behind the scenes as much as you are legally able to do to try to get her the care she needs, even as she's resistant to it, because we understand that resistance is part and parcel with the mental illness, which seems to manifest as some sorts of paranoia in certain moments. So that would be your role, if you can. Now, how do we think this is going to work out for her? I think ultimately good, Barbie. Like, it doesn't matter. At this stage of the game, we have to recognize that if she ends up on the streets in 2 days and back into that vulnerable situation of not knowing where she is, which we don't want, but if it happens, it happens. We've been there before. We might be there again. Excuse me, but that can't be what you focus on. This cannot put you in, okay, I'm now relieved, but my relief is by nature, what's the word I want? Limited because of what's likely to come next. I want to repackage this for you, Barbie, because this is a good first step. Even if she does end out on the street tomorrow, this is a really freaking good first step. And so I want you to have a longer kind of relief just from the fact that she's there. Because it's a beginning, it's an opening, it's a seed, it's a step. And I see hope here. Maybe or maybe not for this particular hospitalization, but for her journey. I see hope. I see hope that she can get this under control, and it feels like it's going to be a combination of medication and therapy. But she can be given her life in a way that she's not been able to have it before. And this is the beginning of that. So just try to work with the powers that be to get her as much as you can. And don't attach to what happens in the short term. See this as a great step for the long term, but of course, fight for her short term as well. You see what I'm saying, right? Okay, now, will she reach out to mom? Likely not, but her therapists might. Will she reach out to dad? If it's going to be one or the other, it's going to be dad that she reaches out to. And how can you support your dad? Well, you know, he's a sensitive guy in a lot of ways, and he sits there and he tells himself every messed up thing about her past, present, and future. And he can't find a way to package this in his head to make it okay. He can't find a perspective. Is he open to a good tarot reading? I would sit down with him in a tarot deck and help him reframe this and find a perspective on it, because he feels responsible for it and terrified of it and sad about it and all the things. And, you know, I'm wondering, you know, I'd love to read for him, but or anyone good, you know, but I'm wondering if you could read for him. You know, if you could just do that in that space of family exploration, like, let's just pull some cards and see what we see. Or even, Barbie, if you can read for yourself about him to get a game plan about how to help him repackage, because that's what he needs. He needs reframing, repackaging, new perspective. That's his way forward. And, you know, I hate to, like, I've given you a lot of work here. And, you know, like 9 times out of 10 up in here, I like to be like, that's not even your job. That's not even your job. Don't be doing that. But in this case, Barbie, you've asked how you can help. And I think this could be your job. He often talks about a time in a boat where my sister hit her head really badly when she was 2, and he thinks it messed her up. I know it's not true, but he's definitely looking for an answer that makes sense. And so, and even if it did, you know, like, mental health is mental health. I would assume if this came from a traumatic brain injury, you would know that, you know, that would be an obvious thing and there would be other things with it. And so maybe he needs education on mental health. And again, like, I don't know how it is in Canada, and I don't even know how it's going to be in the United States. I know how it has been in the United States, and I know that typically when there's a hospitalization, they want to involve the family as much as they can, and they want to involve the family in the education as well. So maybe there's something there, yes. So, yeah. Dad needs maybe some education and some reprocessing. And sister needs you to be her advocate for things that she right now does not herself want. So get ready to be your worst enemy, but I don't think that's new, you know, and I don't think that matters because you can advocate for her. Best of luck. Oh, one more question before we tie this up, Barbie. How you take care of yourself during this. Queen of Pentacles, just keep on your game. Keep on your game. And I think there's some part of you that has like some interesting, both on one hand, survivor guilt in a weird way, and in another way, a survivor responsibility that since your sister is such a worry that you can't. Remember how this week we were talking about you like hiding yourself? What if this is part of it, Barbie? What if you hide yourself because that's your entire life in therapy. Well, here you go. You hide yourself because you can't step out of line because you don't want to add to your parents' burden. Yeah. We can't, that story cannot continue. You have to have room to be yourself. And if you have a problem, you have a problem. And that's the way it is. And you can't feel doubly guilty about your stuff because you have a normal human amount of stuff, and a person with mental illness has some different stuff. But the other thing is, there is still time. Like, your sister is not ancient, right? There is still time that with treatment, your sister could, and I'm not saying will, but your sister could have a kind of normal life with time. So, all things are possible, right? She's 39, so there's still time here. There is still time for her to get her shit together. All right, she may or may not, but there's still time. All right. Latrell R. Morris, otherwise known as Von Ray, who's been a member here for more than 3 years. So good to see you. This is going to be interesting. Barbie, you're very welcome. Jolie James, that was so good, right? Right? Nice teachable moment there. Because, like the way I work, I really fully believe that readers should supply the questions. Often. Speaking of which, those of you with StaarCon 5 tickets, I'm going to be in the Meeting Hall Lounge tomorrow night, 5 p.m. with a tarot workshop on techniques and spreads. Please join me. All right. Latrell R. Morris, which, by the way, is the author account. This is Von Ray, her author name, her pen name, Latrell R. Morris. Please follow, subscribe. This is a very interesting question. I hope this isn't too general of a question, but what do you see in Florida in March through May? There's a reason I'm asking. So let's see. Florida in general, March, April, May, so like that little sort of 3-month, these upcoming next 3 months in Florida. What do we see? I think some economic issues. I know there's already some housing. There's been housing issues in a lot of ways, but what I'm trying to say is I think the housing market is beginning to crash. I think the usual political crap, whatever, that's always happening. But I think there could be some economic issues around the housing market. All right. All right. And who is next? It's Jeannie Mnuchin. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Is there a spiritual reason for this involuntary rest period? That's a nice thing. That's a nice way to process an illness. An involuntary rest period. That's good. That's good. Will I have time to get my stamina back and practice my piece for the show in 1 month? I'm still not rehearsing. It's a slog, man. Yeah, you're going to do great. You're going to do fine. It's going to be okay. This is going to be fine. And you're right to rest. You're absolutely right. Spiritual reason for it? In the body, mind, spirit connection thing, like, I think it really is physical. But, there is that thing where body, mind, and spirit need to work together. And so I think let us see this as a time of integration of body, mind, and spirit. And I think it'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. Revival of Venus, good to see you. I believe you are here with us live. Thanks for being here. I am meeting with my sister's math teachers. She's feeling uncomfortable. He has preferential treatment. He's been telling her to leave honors since she first joined. She's the only person of color in the class. I smell a rat. I smell a freaking rat. Glad you're here, Revival of Venus. Okay. She has voiced and pointed his behavior. I will be meeting him and some of the staff on Monday. How will it go? Will it get better? Okay, everyone, gather round. We're going to do the dialogue once again, and this time, Jolie James with the rat, this time around the sensitive topic of race, which is hard. obviously. And one of the things that I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that I think can be really hard in these situations is unless a person uses outwardly, obviously racist language, it is hard to prove that racial bias is a motivator. But let's ask the cards. Let's ask the cards. Is racial bias a motivator? I'm going to say it is. Now, is he consciously racist? Like, is he that guy who is just consciously, yeah, no, obviously this person doesn't belong here. You know, it can be unconscious bias or conscious bias. And this is important to know because we have to look at how you're going to approach this. All right. Oh, thank you. Gosh, man. I'm going to cry right this minute. I love this village so freaking much. Dr. Aled, Revival of Venus, connect with each other. Dr. Aled is Robin Renee. And what does she say? I am a race scholar who studies inequities in education. Please reach out to me. Please make this connection. And here's the thing that was so powerful is I was just thinking, you need a friend. I don't want you going in there on your own. And unless you, like, you probably don't live in the same area, Robin Renee can't go with you, but she can arm you, if you will. And Revival of Venus, if you can't figure out how to do it, I've got Robin Renee in my cell phone. I mean, not literally her in my cell phone, but we have a texting relationship. So reach out to me and I'll connect you. But let's do that this weekend since you're having this meeting on Monday. And Jolie James, I would say yes, microaggressions are a little more difficult to prove, right? Right. So you make that connection. You need that in your corner. All right. So do we think this person is, in fact, a conscious racist? I'm going to say no. No. And in fact, the kind of person who's going to be like, I have black friends, I can't be racist. Or I dated a black person and can't be racist. Or how dare you call me racist? Like one of those people who's really offended by it. So you have to be very, very careful. And again, talk with Robin Renee about how to deal with that. So my next question is, of the cards, what do I need to tell you now that you have like this is one of those cases where, yes, I could offer some advice from the cards, but I feel like someone who is literally working on her PhD in this field is probably going to have a lot more insight and practical help for you than I will. So what can I tell you that will be helpful for this? Well, a couple of things. Okay, here we go. Your sister, here's the thing. There is a real question in my mind, and Robin Renee, I hope you're listening to this too, because tell me, you don't have to tell me, but y'all discuss later if this makes sense. I feel like your sister is up to the material, but from the beginning, the professor has been treating her differently, or the teacher has been treating her differently and making it harder for her to succeed, thereby making it a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what I think's going on. I think there has been a difference in her treatment from the beginning. Dr. Aled, a Black educator who focuses on elite institutions. Yes, indeed. Where, man, those elite institutions tend to be real harbingers of nastiness, I have to say. Anyway. Revival of Venus. Yes, there has been. And when we look at your sister and her emotional and mental well-being here, you know, the people who love her, including you, have done a good job here because she knows her worth and she knows who she is, and she has people to lift her up. So she is able to fight for what she needs to fight for without having it fully damage her self-esteem. And I'm happy to see that. Okay. Dr. Aled, this is in your capable hands from here. Revival of Venus. If you need, please reach out. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Oh, Dan, thank you so much for your kind words. Okay. Who is up next? It is Melissa Grosso. So good to see you. And I know you're here. Glad you're here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for using members only emojis. I generally do not remember my dreams. However, earlier this week, I had a very vivid and loud dream. Someone was knocking on my door very loudly, so loudly it woke me up with a startle, and I had to ask myself whether someone was trying to break into my actual home. Clearly, it was spirit knocking at the door in my dream. Ooh, I love this. My question is, what was the message spirit had for me? It felt very urgent and very loud. I am a bit upset that I woke myself out of the dream before the message could come through. Okay, seems like we've got another teachable moment here where we're going to do some dream interpretation. I am very excited and having way too much fun, everyone. All right. So we're going to just start with, because this was not a dream with a lot of different pieces to it. So we don't have to really identify there was this and this and this and this in the dream. It is literally someone's knocking at the door. And now I have a Paul McCartney song in my head that makes me really old. And if you know what song I'm thinking of, you're old too. All right. Anyway. So I'm just going to start by asking exactly the question. What was that all about? I think it is the ongoing thing. I don't think this is anything new. I think this is the ongoing journey. And who or what? Here's the question. Who or what is actually knocking at the door? It's your life. Your life is knocking at the door. You know how over these past few years, you have been on this like Herculean journey of healing. And we know, that, you've done it from this place of having a good job. Now you have a relationship that seems to be growing. Over the course of this time, you've accepted an important promotion at this job. But we've always known that this job is not the final destination, that this organization is not the final destination. And some things of late have made it very clear that there could be good reason to exit this organization. Meanwhile, over this time, you've been doing deep, deep, deep necessary healing work and opening up to the possibility that you could have a happy life because you were trained for a life that you knew was not going to make you happy. And in an act of utter rebellion, you chose not to have that life. Good for you. But the life you've been having is a placeholder for the life that you will be ready to have that is actually your life. So what's knocking on the door? It's your life. Next question. How do you answer the door? Ha, Melissa, amen. Thank you for this. How do you answer the door? Well, this is where we keep getting stuck. And you're like, well, I'm mad that I woke myself up. you can't answer the door while you're asleep. You must fully and consciously answer the freaking door. And so that was the dream. There was no more dream to be had. You woke up at the appropriate time, and it was probably good to make sure your home was secure. But you have to be willing to answer the door. Why is it scary to answer the door? It is scary to answer the door because it increases the level of separation between you and your family. And it increases, like you've been in this sort of balance between, oh my gosh, they're cray, and I have a responsibility to them. And I love them. I mean, they are your family. And I feel like you have to be willing to accept the consequences for answering the door, which is fully living your truth, which is maybe protecting yourself more or relinquishing yourself from certain responsibilities. Maybe it's seeing certain truths that you haven't wanted to see. It's that kind of thing. That's what it is. So, how do you answer the door? You recognize that the consequences of not answering the door are more dire than the consequences of answering the door. Sophia E., Melissa's reading sounds like it could be mine. Melissa, thank you for the masterclass and on-point questions and for the wise guidance. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Thanks for being here. Julie James, I had a similar dream about waking up, only it was my daughter jumping on the bed telling me to wake up. Gives me red pill, blue pill vibes, right? Right. All right, there we go. And Jolie, you're actually up next. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. What am I being asked to surrender, learn, or grow into from this experience of post-separation abuse and coercive control from that one time I got married? I love the way you put that. I understand, man. I get it. I get it from a spiritual perspective. All right. What are you being asked? Okay. What you're being asked is to surrender any vestiges left in your brain of the image of the person you fell in love with. You know, somehow you got married for a reason, and somehow love had to be part of it. And even if there was a part of you from the very beginning that knew you didn't love him or knew he wasn't right, there were reasons that you married him. You must forgive yourself for marrying him, and you must let go of any idea that those reasons for marrying him were good reasons. So, no shade or blame on you. It was not good to marry him. Getting divorced was the best thing you could ever have done, man. That deserved the party. That deserved the band or the DJ or whatever. And so then the next thing is to really celebrate the divorce, that is a really good thing. Now, when we look at the coercive control, here's what I'm going to say. This is not the first time you've experienced coercive control in your life. There's been other instances. Maybe it's family of origin. Maybe it's earlier relationships. Maybe it's related to a particular philosophy in your growing up. But one way or the other, this is not the first time you've experienced coercive control. In fact, it was comfortable for you. This exercise is given to you so you will never again find it a comfortable space to be. Jolie James, definitely childhood. You married your mother. Right. And you need to see that. And you need to recognize that no part of that is okay. No part of your mother's behavior is okay. No part of your ex-husband's behavior is okay. And you don't have to respond to that from anybody. No one from the past, no one in the future, no one in the present. Never, 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 ever, ever again. That's what this is. And until you get that, and until you let go of the shame and the sense that maybe you could have somehow made it work, there will be a way in for this bullshit. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Oh, Joyous Ocean, a spiritual fire ritual tonight. That sounds like fun. So yeah, Jolie James, this is your big healing moment. It really is, and it's a beautiful thing. That was exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. All right, who's up next? It is Caroline McLaughlin. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Guidance from the cards, you're feeling pretty low at the moment. Oh gosh, Jolie James, looking for permission where permission was already there. Yep. Perfect. All right, Caroline. What guidance do you need in the face of feeling low? You need to be patient with yourself. You need time. You need some really good food that you didn't cook. You need to do an activity that always cheers you up. And when we look at what's going on here, I mean, I think there's a lot of different things going on. But I think what you need right now really is like recreation, rejuvenation. You need to really find time to do for you in this moment. And I feel like there's been a lot of doing for others. In fact, your whole life sometimes is about doing for others. And you need time to do for you. I think that's what it comes to. All right. Penny, for your thoughts. So good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for using members-only emojis. B contacted me out of the blue. I wonder why. Does he want to work, as he says, or other reasons? Is he up to his usual bullshit? I don't trust him. I think if you don't trust him, there's a reason not to trust him. I think what he wants has something to do with money. But I think there's an emotional piece there too, so probably also usual bullshit. Oh my goodness, I didn't see it earlier, but I see it now. Claire C. Thank you for being a member for more than 3 years. Thank you for the kind super sticker. Thank you for the insightful class. Enjoy a Friday frosty beverage and some sunshine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate that. Penny, don't go away. I'm coming back to you. And baby cakes, I will take that advice for myself as well. It's good to take some time for your self-care. It really is. So, Penny, I think you shouldn't trust him. I think he thinks he's trustworthy, but I kind of agree with you. Now, a question for V. She found another apartment that seems to be a better fit. Number 2 rather than number 9. Is that a better fit? It's a fine fit. It's okay. I don't know if it's particularly better. If I had to choose for her between 2 and 9, I agreed. Yeah, 2 is probably good. Yeah. All right. Bella Luna, thanks for being here. Does C have feelings for me? Potentially, yes, but a huge amount of stress here. It's possible something could develop here, but it also may not because there's stress and maybe some other considerations. Smile Soul 20, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. My question is strange. I love a strange question. I saw a job for a department I used to work for, and I was seriously considering applying for this position. My question is, should I apply for this position I used to have in my former department? Well, it would get you away from the evil bitch. And it would start you on another trajectory. Let's see. If you apply for it, there's no guarantee you would get it. First of all, you might get it. No guarantee. If you apply for it, I don't think it would hurt you in any way to apply for it. And you might get it. Now, if you got it, what would it be like to go back to that department? I think it would be an improvement from where you are right now. And if you don't get it, no harm, no foul. I think it's okay. And there's something that tells me that by applying for this, 2 things might happen, maybe 3. 1 is you might get it, and that'd be good. 2 is you might get it, and that would open the way to other possibilities. 3 is people would see you're looking for a change and might suggest another position for you that would also be good. So yeah, I say go for it. And Dr. Aulette, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. I am no longer eligible for institutional funding or student loans thanks to that man. I understand. What advice do you have for completing the PhD program? Oh my, that's really interesting. So keep doing the work that you need to do. You know, if you're doing your writing, do your writing. Here's the thing, right now, there's nothing you can do, you wait. You do other things, you keep doing your writing, move on with your dissertation as you normally would, because something will come. Just wait. Like, you know how it's been like, all these people are fired. Oh, no, wait, they're rehired. We're doing this. Oh, no, wait, we're doing that. There will be some sort of correction that will become available to you. Give it a minute and keep doing your work and don't give up. That's the key. All right. Claire C., good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Robin Renee, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Claire C., thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. And once again, thank you for the super chat. Here's your question. Why am I drawn to the picture I found on the internet of my great-grandfather's picture from 1857? He was in Philadelphia for medical school. Why are you drawn to this? I think because he's spiritually connecting with you. I think he's one of the ancestors that is connecting with you, and the picture is helping you make that connection. Maybe look at the picture and then try automatic writing and see if he says something to you, or try painting and see if something comes through. It's a psychic thing. It's a spiritual thing. I'm very sure of it. Oh, Caroline McLaughlin, thank you so very much. On point like always. Well, thank you. Mariana, I don't think I've gotten to you yet. No, and I don't think I've skipped you. If there's a moderator here, can you check and see if I've skipped Mariana? Thank you. February. February, thanks for being a member. I don't like what I'm reading here. I am so sorry. I am having an immediate reaction to this. February, we really appreciate you. Wish Florida daughter would settle. New Jersey to Florida, Florida to New Jersey, New Jersey to Florida. Now house hunting in Virginia, wants me to come watch the kids. Nervous flying. She's pissed staying. I'll take care of my own family. So here's the thing. Does she want you to come move to Virginia or just wants you to come? Like, what is that? Like, I think Febborn. A couple of things. First of all, if this is, will you just fly to watch the kids for a short period of time? You don't have to fly. You could take a train. You could do it. But if she wants you to move in with her, I would strongly say that's a very, very, very bad idea. And we recognize that, like, the whole real estate thing is in jeopardy, and so your housing is in question. Do not look. I mean, who broke the housing problem? It was really both of them, not one. I mean, not just one, but both. Do not let the person who broke it be the person who fixed it. You may need to find other solutions for yourself. So be careful here. And the passive-aggressive tone that she's taking with you, you need to hear that, and you need to stay far away from it. Be careful. You'll be fine. Okay, and Mariana, we're not seeing your question. It may have dropped off the top, so please reiterate your question, Mariana. Okay. Christina R., good to see you. I'm trying to take my board exam next week. Am I ready to test and will I pass? Just waiting on the paperwork processing to sign up for the date and time. Okay. So I don't want to do a will I pass reading for anyone because it doesn't help. Because if I say no, how's that going to help? And if I say yes, how's that going to help? Yeah, Febborn, I think you could watch the kids for a week and you could always take the train. I think that's fine if you want to. But, yeah, like that. But yeah, be careful with the housing thing, because that's coming. All right. Yeah, that too. All right. So Christina, taking the exam next week, what do you need to know about this? The thing is, like, your emotions are so caught up in this. Like, you've taken it before and did not pass, and you were so hard on yourself. It's very normal for people not to pass these exams the first time out, or even the second time out. And all that really matters, right, is that you do it. I think you're ready. I think you have a very good chance of passing, very good chance. And I think what you need to do is, on the way, you need to, I know. It's like telling the sun not to shine, but you need to depersonalize this. This is not a test of your personal value. This is not a test of whether you'll be good at your job. It is something you have to do that is really hard, and you'll get there. I promise you, you will, and you'll very likely get there this week. Good luck. Santiago, good to see you. What can I expect in my near future about business, work, and finances? Santiago, you're up next. Christina R., I'm worried that if I don't pass it this time, I won't be able to take it again because of how hard I am on myself. Do you mean that you will, because I mean, legally you can take it again, right? I mean, but that you'll just like dissolve into a puddle of anxiety and just won't be able to do it? Is that your worry? So what can we say to that? You know, this is going to sound, yeah, anxiety. I get it. I totally get it. So the best thing that you can do here is recognize that you and your anxiety are not one and the same. Your anxiety is separate from you and comes in to give you a hard time, but your anxiety is not you. Your anxiety is outside of you, and you can laugh at it because it's a clown. All right, Santiago, what can I expect in my near future about business, work, and finances? Not the most money, but some things that make you happy and are worthwhile, but will take some work and cause some worry to get there, but will be creative. Use your inspiration. Adriana Belange, it's good to see you. My boss has been promoted as CEO, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. Will he take me with him, and will he pay me fairly if he does? He may not take you with him, or he may take you with him and not pay you fairly. So there may be an opportunity here for you to make a change. Consider. If you chose to make a change, it would, like, I think you would have a lot of anxiety about it, but I think there are opportunities for you. So be open to possibilities. Jennifer, good to see you. I had a fight with a girl in college. I said she wanted to be in your life. I feel like I don't need her. Is that a right decision? They trap people based on community for marriage. Is that the right decision? I mean, if it's your decision, it's the right decision. Like, I feel like if that's how you feel, that is perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. No worries. Teresa, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for being a moderator, and thanks for using members-only emojis. Last week, I asked about a program that I was in that was discontinued without my knowledge. The card said I'd win, but I'd need to fight. I got bad news about it yesterday. Should I continue the fight or accept the bad news and move on? So the first question is, if you continue the fight, would you win? It would take a lot. Ultimately, yes. Ultimately, yes. But it would take a lot. Is there a way that you might win this without fighting, like things would just sort of change again? There may be new opportunities in the future, but not this. So, should you put all of that energy into the fight, or should you just call it and walk away at this time? I think there's other things you could put your attention on. I think it's okay to let this go for now if you want. If you want to fight for it, know it will be long and arduous. If you want to put it to the side, there are other ways you could put your attention. Okay, Preetha, looking for a spiritual message from your dream. The message is about what you will commit yourself to. I feel like you're in a place of making some commitments, maybe career-wise, energetically, educationally, and maybe even in terms of a relationship. This is really a question about where do you want to make your commitment, and you're being asked to think very carefully about that. Lisa McCord, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. What does the universe want me to know? I've got some family drama going on and wondering how it will go. My mother couldn't bring herself to go see my brother in the hospital, which is her typical narcissistic behavior. He could have died. So that's a lot. And that's going to bring up a lot for you and a lot of feelings for you. And so what you need to know about all of this is don't turn away from the truth. And recognize that your responsibilities here are only what you want your responsibilities to be. Your responsibility is basically to survive narcissistic parenting, you yourself. Your brother, I feel like your brother has some issues above and beyond the physical here that I have questions about. And, you know, if you want to be helpful there, you might be able to, but I don't know that you have a responsibility to. I think that with your mother, you have to get to a point moving from anger to indifference. Because in a way, you're still shocked by her behavior, but you've known her for long enough where it really shouldn't be shocking. And I think if you could come to that indifference, it would be less painful. So I think there's a question about how you can be supportive of your brother. And if you want to be, I think you can be. If you don't want to be, you don't have to be. And with your mother, I think there's a long healing journey there. And it is not healing between the two of you. It's you healing from her. And that's what that is. 64, Amy Penn. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. And thank you again for the super sticker. I have a job interview on Tuesday. What do the cards see? Will I make it to the next round? What should I look out for? Job interview on Tuesday. I don't know. Do not be disappointed if... Do not be disappointed if it does not manifest into a job. I would say just go in and see what you see. It may or may not go well. Don't worry about it. Do I see a new job coming up for you, though? I see enough work coming up. I don't know if it'll be a job or contracts, but I think you'll have enough work, and I think you're right to cast your net wide. But I'm not loving this job, so we'll see what happens there. Good luck. All right. Mariana, I see your question. Thanks for being here. Will I be good financially? I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right. Yes. You have to be careful in certain moments, but as long as you're careful, I think you'll be good. Andrea, 54 Hector, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Will I be able to find a place for my daughter and me? I have to turn in my housing voucher before the deadline on March 20th. Yes, but you have to really look hard. This is not going to be easy. Everyone needs to help look. Keep looking, and you will find. Sophia E., good to see you. Thanks for being here. My crush A is feelings and next actions. Okay. Feelings. What are you doing here? I know what your next action should be. No, I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm going to say, don't put all your eggs in this basket. All right. LP, good to see you. Thanks for being here. With Whitney Houston lyrics. How will I know if he really loves me? I say a prayer with every heartbeat. Kidding, but how will I know if my person is the one? And here's the thing. There is no psychic way on earth that you can possibly know that. Sophia, I'm sorry. Thanks for being kind about that. Seriously, there's no psychic way to know it. The only way to know is the evolution of time. Now, for you, I know, I love that song too, and I loved that video. She was so cute. She was just so, with her little curly hair. She was so adorable. All right. How will you know, LP? You won't. You won't, you won't, you won't, and you shouldn't. You will feel some spiritual sense, but you might feel that in the wrong situation as well. So you have to let time pass and you have to trust your decisions. Seriously. Sorry. Lumen, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. All right. I want to ask if I should go to T or P this summer, and which better aligns with my desires to become a somatic guide. I love that you're doing that. They both happen in the same time frame. Both involve community, which is what I'm looking for, but in different ways. All right, let's take a look. Adrija, I see you and I see your question, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So Lumen, T or P? T. They're both sevens. So either way, there's going to be a great deal of personal growth. The personal growth at T will be much less painful than the personal growth at P. Vaishali, so good to see you. How can I get rid of procrastination? I'm planning things like working on my assignment and studying, but ending up procrastinating, and I'm not liking this behavior of mine. I can tell you exactly what it is. It's about anxiety. You have anxiety that something needs to get done. So you make a plan. Anxiety is assuaged. The time comes to execute the plan. You have anxiety about executing the plan, so you don't execute the plan. So now you have anxiety, so you make a new plan. That's what's happening, I think. So how do we fix it? Stop making plans. Just do what you need to do. And if you don't do something in the time frame you said you were going to do it, oh well, do it now. Get over shit-talking yourself. That's really the problem, I think. Excuse me. The anxiety goes along with shit-talking. Stop shit-talking yourself. Jolie James has me biting my nails down to the nub. Yeah, it's hard in a lot of different ways. All right, Imee. Why has A ghosted me, and is he planning to do something bad? I don't think he's intentionally ghosted you. I think he just got busy. I don't think he's planning anything bad, no. Vaishali, good luck. Pascal Luisini. Finances at this point. Getting better. I think you're doing what you need to do to make them better. Asia Neseb. When do I think you're going to meet your husband? I think it's going to take a little time, and it should take a little time, like maybe a year and a half. Madiha Ness, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. I wrote to the person that's in charge of hiring for the new position at my workplace. Next week, we will have a talk. I also wrote to my boss to go over my job duties, meeting with him next week. How will the meetings go with the new opportunity and the current one? If I were to get the new one, which path is more stable, which is more fulfilling and peaceful? Okay, y'all know what we're going to do here. Gather round. This is going to be fun. Okay, the new opportunity could go either way. Could go either way in terms of you getting it. Are they open? They're open enough, yeah. Would you like the new opportunity? It would be nice change. It wouldn't be great, but it would be a nice change. Now, meeting with current boss to clarify your job description. I think that could go sort of well, but the boss is kind of a dick and is going to say, look, I need you to do what I need you to do in the moment. Like, the boss is old school that way, not in a good way. And so if you got the current job and would have to choose between the new position and the old position, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. The new position would at least be a change. There's a part of me that's like, is it time to leave the company? And is it time to leave the company? The thing is, not right now. No. If something comes up, yes, but you don't necessarily have to go out looking. I would say take both avenues this week as open as possible and stay open-minded. Both opportunities have their positive aspects. Both suck. You can make the current job suck a little less by talking to the boss, at least for a little while. So know that. Good luck. All right. Okay, Seeley, I see you've updated your question and you are up next. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Great to see you, Seeley Klein. I'd like an overview on breaking through psychically. Another level is being made known, seen, and experienced internally. What's next? Well, let's look first at what do we need to know about this? And what we need to know about this is you need to be recording things. You need to be writing things down or in some other way recording them and trying to figure out how much is literal and how much is metaphor. What's next is this will help you personally. I'm not sure how it will help you personally, but it's bigger than just you. It's bigger than personal, but it will help you personally, and that's probably a good thing. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. Here we go, scrolling through. Joanne Laeza, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Feel like my disease is getting worse, affecting my hearing and balance. Will it interfere with me continuing to work for the next 5 years? I think you can do it, but I think it is difficult. I wonder if it is possible to ask for and receive accommodations. I know there's issues at work, and I know there's issues largely around accommodations, yada, yada, but still I wonder. I wonder. I do think it is getting worse. I do think it's an issue. I also think you can continue to work, but there might be some things that will make it easier. All right. Martha Vank. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for using members only emojis. I'm celebrating my 5-year anniversary with my girlfriend today. It's a miracle. Can't think of a question. So can I have a reading on how this spring will unfold? No, you may not. You may have a reading on the obvious question, which is, what do you need to know at this 5-year anniversary? No, I'll do both. I'll do both. What you need to know on this 5-year anniversary is how far you have come personally in being able to communicate and hold space for a relationship and also hold space for yourself. There has been real growth here. Now, your question, how will the spring unfold? I think in Connecticut slowly, I'm sorry to say, you may need to come back to Florida. And and authoritarianly. But I think you sort of finding your role going forward and being the voice you want and need to be. Okay. Joyous Ocean, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for using members-only emojis. You came in when we were talking about dreams, and rarely do you dream and remember them. You've been dreaming lately. Who's trying to communicate with me? I picked the High Priestess reverse. That feels relevant. Yeah, it's your own higher self trying to communicate with you. It is your own higher self, that person that you always have been, trying to guide you. Jolie James, come to Florida. Celia, you are very welcome. And more from Joyous Ocean. I'm hosting a spiritual fire ritual tonight. What does it all mean? The cards, the dreams, the reversal. I don't normally try to read reversal. What do you and the cards say? So High Priestess reversed is so interesting because on one hand, it's about listening to your inner guidance and how you maybe have not been connecting with your inner guidance as much as you need to. These rituals would help you do it. The High Priestess reversed is also disrespect toward women. Not that there's been any of that recently. And so in this ritual, healing from that, so you can move forward and fight it. Like that. That's how I see it. So you're going to make a monthly. I think that's a good idea. I think that makes sense. Okay. Baby Cakes, good to see you. I think I jinxed my car somehow. 1 totaled plus 2 times hits on my other car within 3 years in a row. Do I need a spell to stop this madness? I've nowhere to hide it. Do I fix the 2-time damages or wait until bigger damages that will be covered by other people's insurances when they cause accidents? Okay. First of all, fix the damage. I mean, I think you could let it sit for the moment if you wanted and wait. I think that's fine. I've done that myself. I think some of it might just have to do with where you live, but there are protection spells you can use. My favorite is to put Rado, the Traveler's Rune, on your car somehow. I used to do it with adhesive tape on my bumper. You could probably get it made into a sticker or whatever. That could help. I also, I will hang the chariot from my rear view mirror. I mean, those are things that could help for sure. For sure. But let's see, let's actually do the cards. I don't think there's a hex or a curse on your car at all, but these things of protection might help. Yeah, Ness, that boss is always going to be annoying. He'll get a little better, but not much, and then that'll only be temporary. He's tough. All right. Adrija, you know I've been waiting for this one. Adrija Roy. Okay. We're doing a compatibility test. Okay, so when you're app dating or reading for people who are app dating, here's how we do it. Talking to B, SK, and D. Here we go. Okay, Adrija, B. I think B is worth getting to know. There's a good possibility there. Recognizing that love is completely unpredictable. We can only say, like, at this juncture, go forward or don't. B, I'm interested. Go forward. SK. I'm less interested. Meh. I'm very meh about SK in this moment. D. D, maybe. But I know how you feel about the Knight of Wands. D, I'm kind of mad about too. I really like the first one. I like the first one best. D, maybe though. All right. That was fun. That was fun. Okay. So B, S, K, and D, in this order is how I like them. B, D, S, K. All right. Let's see. Who is next? Treat a Page of Wands for D. I'd rather run. Yeah, seriously. All right. Theranaya, good to see you. I love this. Theranaya, thanks for being a member. A song and a card. Can do. Can do. I don't even know what to ask. Okay. Adrian Roy, D might be holding his wand and coming after me. No! It's true, it's true. All right. Theranaya, you've been feeling a bit Seven of Cups overwhelmed. Okay, I've got a song for you. It's The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. I love this song anyway. It just takes some time. You're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be all right. You're on your way. You're going to be fine. It'll just take some time. You need to nurture yourself, take care of yourself. But there's your song, The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. The Traveler's Rune. I believe in who here is a rune master? I'm not, but I believe it's called Raido, R-A-I-D-O, I believe. But if you look up Traveler's Rune, you'll find it. All right. Here we go. Ness. Okay, back to you, Ness. I feel like he thinks I'm part of the crew of the old boss. He wants to build his people that now, yeah. I'll talk to both and see which one is less headache. Yeah, that's the way to go. Okay, yeah, I'll do that in a second, Regina, for sure. Justine. Okay, so it's an interesting question. Justine, thanks for being a moderator. Should I give up on my desire of finding a more growth career path-oriented job for the time being and just go back to the old retail job at DSW for the sake of having cash, basically spending money, though not making enough money to save up and move out, rejoin the hamster wheel? Well, if you were to do that, here's how you would think about it. You would have to think about it as your re-entry into the working world. Not that you're there to stay, not that that's all you can do, but it's what you know and it's a way in. So you do that for a little while and then you go find another job. That would be the way to look at that. Should you do that? You don't really want to. You could. It's better than doing nothing. Like if it's the thing you can do, then do that thing. Yeah, you would have to flip that narrative. Absolutely. So if it's the thing you can do, then do that thing, but it's not really the thing you want to do. So better to do something else. Theranaya, there you go. Okay. Here we go. Adrija, just following up. I've done a candle spell. Will it be fine to pick up some cards on how much it was successful? I think extraordinarily successful. Let's see how it goes, but I think successful. All right. My friends, from my perspective, I've answered every question. If I've accidentally skipped you, I'm so sorry. That's never my intention. Please do reiterate your question. If you're here and you have not yet asked a question, it is last call. If you have a StaarCon 5 ticket, join me tomorrow evening in the meeting hall lounge, 5 p.m. Eastern time, for a tarot workshop. We're going to have some fun. Oh, I didn't, Justine. Let me go back. Justine, coming back to you. You're good. You're fine. Okay, here we go. Justine, I didn't see this. Joyous Ocean, I did do you. Okay. How would it affect you in financial? Oh, I love this. Financial terms, mental, emotionally, going forward immediately and in the next 60 days. Yes. Okay. So you would have to flip the narrative. First of all, you would have to. And how would it affect you financially? It would feel good to have some money. Plain and simple. Mentally, emotionally, it would actually feel good to have a routine and be out and about and out of the house and doing something productive. You don't like the job and you would not enjoy the job, and that's real. But parts of it would feel good. And in the next 60 days or so, like, you'd be looking for another job in 3 or 4 months. Like, you would not be staying. But with the theory that it's easier to find a job when you have a job, there it would be. Oh, Theranaya, there you go. Yep, there you go. It is a good one. All right. So did that answer your question, Justine? It is last call. All right, my friends. So StaarCon ticket holders, join me in the lounge tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to do a tarot workshop on spreads and techniques. Of course, if you were here today, you probably don't need it, but no, seriously, we'll have some fun. And I'll be back Monday with your 3-card weekly reading. I have some openings today and tomorrow. There is a link right in the description to book your reading. Do so. Justine, take really good care. Be good. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much, everybody.